making the restoration of that file, you have to go in the trash folder. So after going in a trash folder, after clicking on that particular image, then there is option is called as restore. So this restore and this restore is the same. Yes, we are interested to use this equipment and we have to make it restore. Yes, so this is the meaning of restore. What is the main objective? The objective of behind this corrective maintenance is it will eliminate the breakdowns, further breakdowns. Yes, it will eliminate the deviations from optimum operating conditions. It will eliminate the repairs, and it will use for optimizing all critical plant system. So this is the objective of breakdown maintenance. So one can say that the abbreviation is BM. Yes, we are interested for the prerequisite. So one can say that before doing the breakdown maintenance, we have to follow this prerequisite. Same way, in every subject you are having a prerequisite type of portion. Yes, so for that particular subject, if your prerequisite is clear, then that subject is easy for you. So what is the prerequisite for this? So one can say that existence of trained full-time maintenance planners we need. We need the properly skilled craftsman to complete the repair. Obviously, the skilled worker should be advantageous thing for company also and for the organization also. So that's what they are going to say to improve your skill. Yes, we are interested to improving our knowledge also, but we have to improve our skill mainly. Yes, the third prerequisite is standard maintenance procedures for recurring the repairs and maintenance task. We have to allow the sufficient time to maintenance amidst the tight production schedules and management constraints, and a thorough verification process to ensure the completion of repair. So one can say that before carrying out the breakdown maintenance, we must need the skill maintenance. We must have a sufficient time, and we have to thoroughly verify the process. So this is the prerequisite of this breakdown maintenance. Now there are steps, obviously, to do a corrective maintenance. So what is the first step? So this is the sequence. This is the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Yes. So one can say that for the first step, we have to recognize of existence of failure. We have to identify the failure where the failure is occurred. Then we have to localizing the failure within the system to a specific item or equipment. So let's say if the system is very complex, then we have to recognize the part first, or you can say area first, and then we have to identify or localize the equipment. Then we have to diagnostic. We have to carry out the diagnosing within the item to identify the specific failed part or component. Then we have to replace, or if replacing is not possible, then we have to repair. So that's I'm using the word or over here. Yes, you have to mention that you can say that we are the maintenance engineer in the future. So we are interested for repairing mainly. So if the repairing cost is not permissible, then obviously we have to go for replacement. And what we have to replace or repair? Obviously the failed item, part or component. And the fifth step is checking out and returning the system to the service. So that is the word called as restoration. Yes. So these are the 5 steps. One can say that these 5 steps are very simple, and we have to write about these 5 steps in detail. So this is the explanation. Now, what are the advantages of corrective maintenance? So the advantages are it lowers the short-term cost. So whenever we are doing the corrective maintenance, so our cost is going to reduce particularly. The second advantage is it requires a less staff since less work is being done. Obviously, if the fault is going to occur in one particular part, then we need the few amount of you can say the staff. Yes, obviously if the plant is big, Then we have to identify the area first. After identifying the area, we have to identify the equipment, and we have to carry out the maintenance procedure. Yes. So it saves the times, and one can say that it lowers the short-term cost. Yes. Now, what are the disadvantages of corrective maintenance? It increases the long-term cost. Obviously, we have to carry out this corrective maintenance for a long time. So unnecessary, we are you can say आपण त्याच्यामध्ये कॉस्ट ही देतो लेबर्सला. It is possible secondary equipment or process damage, and it is prone to neglect the assets. So this is again the major disadvantage of corrective maintenance, or you can say breakdown maintenance. Yes. So this is related to the breakdown maintenance. Now there is always comparison between preventive maintenance. That is the first part we have seen, and that is the second part today we have discussed. So one can say that there is a perfect crystal clear difference in between these two. So preventive means before a failure has occurred, and corrective, or you can say breakdown, means after a failure has occurred. So I hope this point is clear to you. Obviously there are different steps for different type of maintenance. There are advantages and there are disadvantages also. Yes. So I hope this point is clear to you. Just write in the chat box if you understood this point. If you have not understood, then write no. Okay. We will go ahead, and the work is also stopped here. So we'll start with the next point. Okay. If you have the pen or notebook with you, then you can remember this point easily, because this point is definitely asked in the government exams. What is the meaning of corrective maintenance? So they are having the options before the failure or after the failure. So you have to pick the correct option as after a failure. Yes. We are interested for the third. Now we have to predict the maintenance. Yes. One can say that first we have seen the preventive, second we have seen the corrective, and now we have to predict the fault, and according to that fault we have to do the maintenance. So that is called as the predictive maintenance. In some books they are using this word as condition based maintenance, CBM. Yes. This short form you have to remember, and sorry, and you have to remember this another name also. So both the way the question will be asked, discuss the condition based maintenance or discuss the predictive maintenance. Yes. Before that I have one question for you. We are always interested for the data. Yes. आपण प्रत्येक वेळेस डाटा मध्ये इंटरेस्टेड असतो. आपण कुठेही गेलो तर आपण काय करतो, रीडिंग्स घेतो. जसं तुम्ही प्रॅक्टिकलला करतात, प्रॅक्टिकलला गेल्यावर तुम्ही काय करतात, कनेक्शन्स वगैरे करतात. नंतर तुम्ही व्होल्टेज सप्लाय असेल तर व्होल्टेज सप्लाय तिथून फ्लो करतात. Then there are meters available, and after having the meters and after having the supply flow, then there is a deflection in the meters, and you are going to read or you are going to observe the readings. Yes. And if you are maintaining the data over a period of time, then one can say that you can predict. मी बऱ्याच वेळा सांगतो हे एक्झाम्पल, की जे हवामान खातं असतं, ते हवामान खातं जरी काही कामाचं नसलं असतं तरी ते प्रेडिक्शन करायमध्ये एक्सपर्ट आहे. सो हाऊ दे आर मेकिंग द प्रेडिक्शन? ऑब्विसली त्यांच्याकडे डाटा असतो, प्रिव्हियसली इयर्सचा, मंथचा, डे वाईज, टाइम वाईज डाटा असतो, आणि त्यानुसार ते कंडिशन्स बघून ते काय करतात, प्रेडिक्शन करतात. 99% त्यांचे प्रेडिक्शन्स हे रॉंग पण असतात. येस. बट वन कॅन अवेअर अबाउट दिस. So they cannot go outside, or they cannot go into the sea also. So having the prediction of the weather. We are interested for the discussion, and we are interested for the advantages and disadvantages. You have to remember that for the maintenance there are advantages and there are disadvantages also. Okay. Now we will go ahead. So this is the predictive maintenance. It is a method in which the service life of important part is predicted based on the inception or diagnosis in order to use the parts to the limit of their service life. It reduces the unscheduled breakdown. It assures that the machine is in acceptable condition after repair. The predictive maintenance allows the maintenance frequency to be as low as possible. सो आपल्याला याची फ्रिक्वेन्सी ही कमीत कमी ठेवायची आहे प्रिडिक्टिव्ह मेंटेनन्सची. अँड प्रिडिक्टिव्ह मेंटेनन्स इज टाइम बेस्ड. सो दिस इज नॉट अ प्रिव्हेंटिव्ह, इट इज अ रिलेटेड टू प्रिडिक्टिव्ह मेंटेनन्स. येस, over the period of time we have to make the predictions of fault. Again, the activities such as changing the lubricant based on time, such as calendar time or equipment runtime. We are always interested to use rotating equipments. So we are using the alternator, we are using the motor, and obviously we need the lubricant inside this. And we have to make sure that we have to change this lubricant over the period of calendar time. So what is the meaning of calendar time? One can say that the company has provided the calendar time. So at what time you have to change the lubricant, at what time you have to change the winding, at what time you have to do the maintenance. So that is called the calendar time. The company has provided this for every equipment, industry equipments. Yes, or you can say equipment runtime. So by looking at equipment or by looking the performance of equipment, one can take the decision and one can change the lubricant. But believe me, company मध्ये बऱ्याच वेळा काय करतात ते फॉल्ट होण्याच्या आधीच ती गोष्ट रिप्लेस केली जाते, कारण की कंपनीतल्या लोकांना तेवढी भीती असते जर फॉल्ट आला तर पूर्ण प्लांट हा शटडाऊन होऊ शकतो. बऱ्याच वेळा काय करतात कंपनीमध्ये ती कॅलेंडर टाइम नुसार जर ती तारीख जवळ येत असेल तर ते काय करतात एक दिवस आधीच तो जे पार्ट्स बदलायचे असतील किंवा रिप्लेस करायचे असतील किंवा रिपेअर करायचे असतील तर ते रिपेअर करून घेतात. येस, सो बिकॉज देअर रेव्हेन्यू डिपेंड्स ऑन the equipments. For example, most of the service providers advise to change the oil in their vehicles every 5,000 to 10,000 kilometer traveled or 3 to 6 months time interval. जसं तुम्हाला सांगितलं असेल की तुमच्याकडे जर बाईक असेल किंवा व्हेकल असेल तर त्या व्हेकल मध्ये आपल्याला ऑइल चेंज करावं लागतं आणि ते ऑइल एक तर तुम्ही 5 ते 10 किलोमीटर जेवढा रन झाला असेल तेवढा तुम्ही बदलू शकता, किंवा जर 3 to 6 months जर तुमचं परचेस नंतर झाले असतील, सो यू हॅव टू चेंज द ऑइल. सो दिस टू कंडिशन्स आर अवेलेबल आयदर ऑन द रन टाइम or either on the calendar time. So that is the example of this. Now the examples of the predictive maintenance. So there are examples. So we have to do the vibration analysis. The name indicates itself. We have to check or we have to record the vibrations are going to develop inside the electrical equipment. तुम्हाला कळत असेल की रोटेटिंग इक्विपमेंट्स आहे तर तिथे व्हायब्रेशन्स हे डेव्हलप होतात आणि ऑब्व्हियसली जर व्हायब्रेशन्स हे एका लिमिटच्या बाहेर गेले असतील सो त्यामुळे तुमचं लुझिंग ऑफ बोल्ट्स होईल किंवा लुझिंग ऑफ युअर वाइंडिंग होईल आणि त्यामुळे तुम्हाला डॅमेज होण्याचे चान्सेस वाढतात. सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड द व्हायब्रेशन अनालिसिस. बरेचशा लोकांचा रिसर्च एरिया सुद्धा आहे हा व्हायब्रेशन अनालिसिस. एखाद्या गोष्टीचे व्हायब्रेशन मेजरमेंट करतात आणि त्यावर ते पीएचडी सुद्धा करू शकतात. येस, द सेकंड इज ऑइल अनालिसिस. सो दिस लुब्रिकंट is under the category of oil analysis. We have to analyze the oil. So one can say that it can be a transformer oil analysis. Yes. The third is the thermal imaging. So that is a concept of thermography. So we will discuss this concept in detail. And the fourth is the equipment observation. So by only looking at equipment, one can observe the performance of that equipment, and if the sound or you can say the indication is going to happen with that particular equipment, so we have to do the maintenance. So that is called as an example of predictive maintenance. Yes, now we will go ahead. What is the next part? So it is continued. So when predictive maintenance is working effectively as a maintenance strategy, maintenance is only performed on machines when it is required. That is the basic thing. Yes, it means just before the failure is likely to occur. Failure होण्याच्या आधी आपल्याला प्रेडिक्ट करता आलं पाहिजे. So that is the meaning of this, and it brings the several cost savings as follows. Minimizing the time the equipment is being maintained. So one can say that these are the advantages. Minimizing the production hours lost to maintenance and minimizing the cost of repair, spare parts and supplies. So these are the advantages. One can see there are a lot of advantages of having the predictive maintenance. So it is not a preventive, sorry for that, it is a predictive maintenance. It reduces the breakdown losses, it reduces the maintenance cost of the equipment, it reduces the total maintenance time of the equipment, it increases the equipment operational life and availability, it reduces the part and labor cost, it saves the energy, it allows a primitive corrective actions. So one can take the primitive actions fault होण्याच्या आधीच्या कंडिशन्सला called as primitive corrective action. It improves the safety and environment. One can say it can become environment friendly also. The product quality is better after having the predictive maintenance, and it increases the net operating profit. सो ज्यांच्याकडे कंपनी असेल किंवा जे त्यांचे सिनियर्स किंवा त्यांचे नातेवाईक हे कंपनीमध्ये काम करत असतील तर त्यांना हा कन्सेप्ट लगेच समजेल. नेट ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मीन्स आफ्टर selling the product, there is a profit is available to the particular company, and by doing the predictive maintenance, one can increase their net operating profit. Obviously, there are disadvantages also. So the cost of condition monitoring equipment needed for predictive maintenance is often high. So unnecessary, we are using the skilled labors, and this involves the cost of the labors. The skill level, that is an important point, and experience required to accurately interpret the condition monitoring data are also high. आपल्याला कळत असेल की ज्यांच्याकडे स्किल आहे ते स्किल ऑटोमॅटिकली त्यांना एक्सपिरियन्स थ्रूच मिळालेलं असतं. येस, अँड वी हॅव टू स्पेअर सम कॉस्ट टू हायर दिस इंजिनियर्स, experienced engineers. Yes, investment on diagnostic equipment required for predictive maintenance is high. आपल्याला तुम्हाला कळत असेल की प्रेडिक्टिव्ह करायचं आहे, प्रेडिक्शन करायचं आहे, म्हणजे ते इक्विपमेंट्स आपल्याला जे यूज करायचे असतील की जे प्रेडिक्ट करू शकतात फॉल्टला, त्यांची इन्व्हेस्टमेंट किंवा त्यांची कॉस्ट सुद्धा काय आहे, हाय आहे. सो दिस इज रिलेटेड टू द करेक्टिव्ह or breakdown and preventive maintenance. So we will stop over here, and in the next class we will discuss the maintenance of the equipments. So one can say that the maintenance of particular equipment is very important, and in the next class we are interested for the examples also for particular electrical equipment. Okay, so I hope you have understood the today's session. Yes, so if you have any doubt related to this subject or this unit or this point, you can ask me on my WhatsApp also, or you can call me at any time. Yes, so and one more important thing, that tomorrow there is a not possible for me to conduct the lecture of EIMT because I am having the program of that skill development. So